Okay, my fabulous listeners, I am so excited to welcome you, Miss Dana Nelson of Disbeaute. You probably saw her when I did my class with them earlier this year. I'm very excited. How are you, Miss Dana?
I am doing fantastic. How are you doing?
So good. So, in case people are not aware or maybe they missed it, can you tell us a little bit about Disbeaute?
Yes, yes. So, Dispute is making beauty education accessible. As we know, going to Instagram, going to Google, sometimes we only see who pays to be there or who is in our sphere. So, Dispute is a directory that is like a Google search where you can find any educator to connect with through coaching, find any upcoming classes they have, or just learn more about them. But we also host in person classes, virtual from brands and freelancers all in one space. And attached to that, we have our dispute streaming. There are so many amazing beauty platforms out there, but there's 200,000 of them. So it can be overwhelming. And who do
No kidding. Okay.
Yes, and who do I subscribe to? Who do I align with? So we
Mhm.
wanted to take that out of the equation and have one space that functions like Netflix,
Mhm.
where you can have educators all in one space, either giving away, donating education, or it's pay per view. So I can just pay to see that fringe of a haircut versus paying for the whole thing.
Mhm.
We want to be in the back room with you when you have that moment of like, Merry Christmas. I have someone that has bright yellow hair in the shampoo bowl. How do I get through it? So, having it broken down into chapters, we can help you with the 3 to 7 minute video.
I love that. And I do love the website too. I feel like I'm going into this like vortex of just like cool education for the stylist, right? Like I know we have some bigger brands out there that they have the education and then they have the merch and then they have the this and the that. And you're like, I just want to get to the point.
E- Exactly. There's a lot of fluff, there's a lot of barriers. And how many times do we just want to see a haircut and it's 30 minutes of them brushing the hair?
Hmm.
Time is money, and we want our education to be to the point.
I love that. So how walk me through and the listeners and the watchers walk us through this process. Like how did this come about? Like are you a stylist too or did you kind of just like drive one day and be like, "Oh my God, we can do this." Like how did this happen?
Well, I am a stylist at heart, cosmetologist, scientist. I would put that all together.
Yeah.
I am from an education and tech family. So my grandparents were both educators, my parents were both administrators, and my grandpa actually built computer program that is Microsoft 365 now. So I definitely
Stop.
had
So
this.
cool.
And I was 5 years old playing robots in my dad's shop because he was a shop teacher and then a superintendent. But I was also putting food coloring in my hair. And I would walk around my small town in North Dakota with a rainbow, and people would be like, "Oh, there's her," right? So everyone knew that I was going to be different. I kind of stuck out like a sore thumb from again 8 years old rainbow to I believe I read Cosmo, and a brother pranked his sister with putting peroxide in her shampoo. So I did that. I can change it like chemistry. So I was always very curious when it came to color and hair color. But dispute actually came from my high school. I am from a very small town, and any class that we could not get in, we actually broadcasted it from a college. So 60 miles away, I took my psychology, sociology, and anatomy. So we had
Nice.
a dedicated room with all these TVs. And when it came to me going into beauty education, I was told that I would make $13,000 in North Dakota, or I could branch elsewhere and maybe have a career that maybe paid me a little bit more.
Mhm.
So when I was looking into going to the Aveda Institute, it was 8 hours away. And
Mm.
I saw this big gap of a high school that had all this tech and bringing me education, But then I had to move away to go seek that education that I wanted for my career.
Hmm.
So it really started from, again, my high school back in the 2000s, to be honest.
I love that.
And after I graduated with a Veda, I saw a huge opportunity for, again, that innovation. How can we put those cameras where the masters are educating? And Merry Christmas, even if I can watch it, just see them in work.
Hmm.
It's going to take my career to here to here.
Hmm.
I want to see them in person. I'm going to build that connection. And when it came to the retail side of my like institute with innovation, it was unbranded. It was thinking all the shelves would just be what works best. What is your texture type and density? What are you looking for in consistency versus a brand that I partnered with?
Mm.
I always had this very universal mindset of how can we just make strong cosmetologists that are more like scientists, chemists, engineers, physicists, how
Hmm.
to bring, I would say, more and give us more of an even playing field. And I always felt that was through tech and innovation. Throughout my career, as I met more educators, as I met more people doing the digital aspect, through COVID, I was a educator and we did this for about 9 months.
Yeah, we did.
Yes, yes. So I really saw that this world never took away from in person. When I would teach a class, they were like, I want that in person now. So I started to see that the digital world would never threaten in-person education,
Mm.
that it was something that could inspire, engage, and give people, again, more access if I can't travel or if I'm in a smaller country or town.
Hmm.
So when it came to after COVID, I that's when I had that epiphany of where do we put our education? Well, it goes to Instagram, YouTube, or TikTok, and those are advertising platforms.
Hmm.
I go to Google, Merry Christmas. Sorry, that's my word. I have a 20-year-old, so I
I
say Merry.
love that. I love it. No, it's totally cool. I'm like, I love Christmas and Merry all day. Like, let's go.
It's just like my happy word. Um, Sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. Dispute,
You were
bring it.
talking, yeah, you were talking about having it like Instagram, TikTok. Those are
Thank you.
advertising. Yeah.
Thank you. They're advertising platforms. And I see all these amazing views, all these likes, all this engagement selling for a brand. And they get a free product, and Instagram gives them $1,200 for 11 million views. And again, if I go to Google and I do haircutting class, I see who pays to be there. If I'm
Hmm.
haircut educator, I'm going to probably see the top 5 brands. So it is very gate kept. And as someone who was not with a brand, I was kind of on my own and just seeing what's out there. As someone who wanted to take a class, wanted to find something new, I was stuck.
Hmm.
So that's when, and it wasn't driving down the road. It was a shower thought. I will be very
Yes.
honest. I'm very big. I'm like shower, like downloads or whatever. I'm like,
For,
porta potty.
for me,
Um,
it's either the shower or I'm driving. Like those are
yeah,
my thinking spaces. So okay, got it.
mhm. And I was like, wait a second. I know how to build tech things. My friends are in advertisement. My brother is a graphic designer and made me do everything. So I know how to do that. I think I could build something better than Instagram or YouTube and make it more like Netflix.
That is so
So
cool.
that was the start of Dispute,
Hmm.
and it's really evolved into being the A to Z solution for beauty education. I express the two sides of tech that we have, but we also record and stream. So we are getting into the production side to make sure that you can focus on the idea, who you want to engage with, and Dispute can be your behind the scenes team to make sure somebody in Croatia can watch it or someone in my hometown in North Dakota.
That
So
is cool. So where's Dispute's headquarters right now?
we are in Santa Monica, so Los Angeles.
Yay! Okay, that is so cool. I love it. I had a feeling it was going to be California. Um, so I appreciate that, you are from Dakota, North Dakota, right?
Yes, yes.
I love that because I have coaching clients from Alaska and Texas, and they're kind of like on their own, especially Alaska. Like they have to take a flight to go anywhere, you know? And so for you to you yourself to be from Dakota, you understand that. And then to have the headquarters in California, like that's perfect. Like I'm all about it. All about it. Um you mentioned, which I was actually thinking about on a drive earlier this week, this weekend, was, you know, what is the trend happening right now? Like when I first got into the industry, it was all about teaming up with a brand. You got to team up with a brand when you sell retail and only have one brand and you team up with them and you get everything that they offer you. But then today, you just kind of mentioned something about like being unbranded and having a little bit of everything from everybody. So what is your where do you stand with that?
Well, the trend is authenticity. I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of us know that when it comes to coaching, we tell them to be authentic, to be
Mm-hmm.
yourself. And when it comes to educators or people partnering with a brand, we don't want to be told what to say, right? We have so much experience, and the way we see things may be different from the slide that you recommend that we say, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think the learners are starting to see that it is, you're painting a piece of hair and it's like brought to you by.
Mm-hmm.
That's not authentic. I don't feel connected. And the trend with education is finding themselves. What brands work for me? If I have a color line that works for my gray coverage, another one for demi-permanent, that's what works best for my guests, my clientele, and maybe not the sales bottom line. And I think that we have found that really good line of, hey, Dana Nelson is the educator, right?
Mm-hmm.
I use these as my tools because, right?
Right.
And that's how you get sales. So we are really trying to be that force behind that trend of authenticity sells. People
Mm-hmm.
love when, I see my little gray hair flopping here. I just hope like someone sees it like, oh yeah, she has unruly gray hair too. Ah,
Yeah.
because that's what it's about. It's
Yeah.
about authenticity. And I think also with social media, we're seeing that trend of less filters, more real, more people saying maybe what wouldn't say 10 years ago because they were afraid of that partnership.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I say authenticity.
I love that so much because I know for us in the salon, like we have tried to stick with one particular brand, but the reality is like not none of us are going to be amazing at everything.
Yep.
You know, like not one brand, not one company, not one salon that you work. They're everybody's going to have their own gifts and talents, and so you got to collaborate with all of them to be that powerhouse. You know, and I really appreciate how that kind of trickled in there. So thank you for that.
Yes, yes.
So, what do you think is an important trait or strength that beauty or barber pros really need to succeed in this business?
That is such a fun question. So I have seen a lot of people niche down,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Really find their strengths, focus on that education. I absolutely 1,000,000% believe in having that focus. But at the same point, I was a single mother.
Mm-hmm.
So when it came to a client walking in the door, I was like, flat top, love you. Perm, I'm the perm lady, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because of financial means,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say no to much. And what I found is I was definitely more of a color specialist with men attached.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else kind of fell in between, and I felt myself always adapting the way I would color because I had a curly cut guess that just completely changed the way I thought about foil placement.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that's a very vague and broad answer, but really find what your natural, skill is, where your clientele is, but always say yes because gosh, if you're bad at something, how else can you learn? And that is something that I don't know. I think it's this opportunity if you do quote unquote fail,
Mm-hmm.
but there's communication if you do a bad flat top. I don't know why that's the haircut I'm saying right now.
No, but I love it. I love it because you don't hear about it too often anymore. So that's perfect.
No, no, but you can always say like, "Hey, I'm stepping out of my comfort zone. I'm going to practice, and you know what? I invite you back in 2 days if something isn't right because I want to learn." And that is something that I would tell everyone. Just be okay to practice, have that communication, and honestly, from education with learners,
Mm-hmm.
yes, love it. They love when you're practicing and being like, "Oh, she did this because of." My eye bone. It's
Right.
yeah, so that would be my
I
suggestion.
love it. Yes, yes. It is all about communication. I have found, even in the salon, like communicating just little, seemingly stupid things. That is the thing that the client is just so blown away by. And then they stay with you forever. And you're like, seriously? Okay, that's cool. But like, communicate.
Hmm. Yes, well, and it's funny, even with communication, say it three different ways.
Ooh, such a good tip. Okay.
Oh, so we're gonna go dark red today. Oh, it's gonna make your eyes pop. I absolutely love dark red. So we're gonna go red, and when you're walking in a party, people are gonna know that you're red. Ooh, so excited. Oh, I cannot wait to make you darker and a little bit more red and vibrant. So you say it in all these ways, and maybe the third time they're like, wait a second, I'm going to walk in a party and they're going to see that I'm red. I don't know if I like that. Can we darken it a little bit? So it's communication is really fun, I think.
Yes.
So yeah, I love that too.
Yeah, well, that's good. That is a good point. I've always heard you got to say something 7 times before somebody it clicks, but the three different ways, that's an awesome, you're putting it, making it real for them.
Mhm. Yes. And I've had people where, you say one word, they're like, yes, yes, I subscribe to that. But then at the end, you can see there's that miss because of one scenario of, oh, I didn't know it was gonna be that vibrant, or I didn't know it was gonna be that dark, or I didn't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. So now with that being said, what do you think has been your biggest failure? And what did you learn from it? It could be personal or professional, either way.
Biggest failure. So in my brain, I've wired them as opportunities. So it's funny, like I'm like,
Oh,
here, where's
okay.
that word? Um,
Okay.
oh, um, oh gosh, where do I start? I would say early in my career, finding that balance between overworking myself, doing free for my resume, but not compromising my life work balance. Because I would
Oh.
say that was a little personal, hate to say that, but um, 6 days a week working to, make double income plus being an educator. I don't think I had that balance for a while. And I'm very, very, very blessed for the support system that I did have.
Mhm.
But I needed more streams of revenue. Like that's like I just will be very honest and transparent,
Yeah.
but and I don't have an answer for that failure, but
Mhm.
yeah, I just 6 days a week is not something that you should do.
Right, right. Well, yeah. And then now you're more in the internet space, right? So how has today versus that time, like how has that shifted for you better?
I can bring it to other people. I I
Okay.
I love when I hear people say like, Dana, I'm so sorry, life, that
Hmm.
we can pivot, that we can change things.
Hmm.
And for me personally, my daughter is now 19, so it's fun the other side. And she knows that she can FaceTime call. She is actually back in the Dakotas. She went back to the homeland, which love, love, love. But that she knows that I can now drop most things and be there for her. So that is something that has been really important for me.
Hmm.
Even though she is 19, people are like, oh, she's already raised. No,
No.
no.
Hogwash. No, I hate it when people say that. They used to say that to me when I was 19, and I was like, I love that, but I am terrified. What are you talking about?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I sometimes tell my friends, I'm like, so when they're toddlers, it's kind of always the same. Like they may like mask it in their teenage years for a little bit,
Yeah.
but then in their early 20s, they're back.
Yeah. All right. So what has been the thing that you have overcome to be where you are today?
Ooh, imposter syndrome.
Oh, that's a good one. It's a
Big.
good one.
It's I feel like everyone says that,
Hmm.
but I think you heard me that failure to opportunities, because I was hard on myself for a while in my career, right? So yeah, I definitely think that. Sorry, I kind of got lost in my brain a little.
It is okay. It
Yes,
is
yes,
perfect. I saw it and I'm like, that's fine. That is real. Okay.
yep.
Real and
That's
raw.
yes, yes, yes. But yeah, I think changing that mindset and really taking control of my brain.
Yeah.
Sorry for the change of direction in that, but
Totally fine. Totally fine. So, how are you nourishing yourself today?
oh, 1,000,000% sleep. I am the biggest advocate of sleep, and I would say listening to myself.
Mm,
So when I am working, I do the tech, the coding, the graphic design. I'm the back end person. And there are some nights where I'll work till 2 a.m., and then there's other nights where I really try to listen to myself and say, okay, maybe 10 hours on the computer is enough. But
yeah.
when you're running a business and trying to, I would say, do everything, right? How I nourish myself is listening as much as I can.
Mhm. Okay, so because you came from a tech family and then you popped out as the creative, right? And now you're kind of meshing them together. Which one do you like more? Do you like the tech side or the client person side?
So I love humans. Like I will
Hmm.
always love human beings, love them. But I took a lot of it on and home. Like I'm with you in your emotions.
Yeah.
And as far as hair, it will never leave me, so I will always have that.
Hmm.
Really love the space that I'm in now. And I I do find myself really loving the tech and the design and how making people feel and telling stories. And
Yeah.
I definitely more of a nerd now. Yes, I would say a little bit more on the tech.
Okay. What is an insult that you have gotten that you just absolutely love now that you got?
Oh my gosh. I'm from a small town and I feel like, you kind of are raised by like brothers and sisters.
Hmm.
Um, oh, insult. That is such a good one. I like how my partner is laughing in the background. Uh, I would say I got made fun of a lot for um, my like well-roundedness. So,
What?
yes.
Okay.
I played the tuba. I was a cheerleader and I could weld. And that has never really like stopped, I was very active in Future Farmers of America. It just kind of a very weird, well-rounded. And I feel like I kind of always got picked on in certain groups for like, oh, you play the tuba, like you're in band. Yeah, yeah. And now as an adult, I feel like all those kind of little insults of me being different or weird or whatever people have called me, I have fully embraced. So like, maybe being weird, I think would be the insult.
There is nothing weird about any of those things. I actually love that you did all of those.
I guess I was bored. I don't know.
Those are like secret powers, like for real. That's so cool. The tuba, you know how to weld. You
Mhm.
were in 4-H. Like, what?
Mhm. Yes.
Those
Yeah.
people are dumb. Anyways. So, okay. So what do you want to be remembered for? And then what do you want Dispute to be remembered for?
Mm. So me. I want to be a feeling. Ooh, it gives me a little bit like in
Oh.
my throat, but I hope that I'm just a feeling of people and they have that like, ooh, I could do this and I'm better and I knew I could. So
Mm-hmm.
I hope I'm just like a feeling in people.
Mm-hmm.
And dispute, I want, they will be, right? Putting that into existence. That revolutionary point that the beauty industry shifted, where we went from being the 30,000, um, insert any word,
Mm-hmm.
to the essential workers, to those connecting pieces to humanity.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we're more respected like psychologists, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
the amount of like interviews and first dates that I've nailed for people with a haircut, like, let's be honest, I put a pep in your step. So I really want dispute to be that change, that pivotal moment, because I do know that if we can, not tell people you'll make $39,000, that we can bring more artists and more creatives if that number is 75,000
Mm-hmm.
and take care of our industry.
Yeah.
So I think that just like boop, that flip is what I want dispute to be.
That is so, yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. So who are three people in the industry right now that you're like, "Oh, I just need those three people to get on Dispute, blow us up." Like who are those people?
You know, the fun thing is I have so many people that blow my mind that are a part of it. Three people. Antoinette Binders, like she
Mm.
is I'll just make eyes. Like I'm an avant-garde junkie, so she's yeah.
Yes, I love it. I met her at a premiere Orlando a couple years ago when she was there. Amazing.
She's
Yes.
just a little mm. Um so and these are like personal for me that have
Yeah.
been, impactful.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
so Tim Hartley was a creative director of Vidal Sassoon.
Mm,
And when I was in school, I actually did a hair show that was around him. And seeing how everybody, took his arts and made their own pieces, seeing what he did for Vidal and kind of following him now.
mm.
It's kind of one of those names when people are like, Tim Hartley, I'm like, ooh, I get that little like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that. And then uh David Adams. David Adams is a colorist. I believe he's in New York now, has his own salon. But he was back in my Aveda days. I hate to throw everybody back to that. But the way he thought about color gave me so much permission. And
Oh,
it was I don't know, really, he made this book called The Art of Coloring that
yes.
it was just phenomenal, different techniques, geometry, and I think those would be my three that I'd be like, please come here and share everything that you made my brain kind of go like, just like level up when I met them.
Yes. Yes. We will be tagging them.
Yes, yes, yes. It's like, hello, hi, I love you.
I have said it before and quite a few other guests who have been on the show. They say Tabitha Coffee.
Oh,
I
yes.
tag her all the time. I am always spamming her. So, hi,
Mhm,
Tabitha. Anyways, so there's that.
mhm. It's like, hi,
Hi
come
again.
on. Yes.
So, working in the industry, and now being in the tech world, even with your own family, what is a lesson that you have learned working in the beauty industry that you wish that they would just get?
They, as a beauty industry, are humans, like
No,
over.
like the tech people. Like you've learned a lesson in the
Oh,
beauty world that you're like, "Oh my God, this is it," right? And then you're like, "I wish these people would just understand this lesson," you know?
yes. So it's very interesting because, being in the tech space, I did go the investor corporate route, right? Like you have to do that to have a business.
Mm.
Oh, that was interesting and dynamic as I like push my hair back.
Yeah, I see it.
The that we are a profession, I would say. I had a lot of people in my career, a lot of, professional men that saw my talent, but when it comes to tech, they don't understand the beauty industry. They don't, maybe they've never had a great haircut that was perfect for their recession point that makes them feel 10 years younger.
Mm.
And that's okay. But we are the people that make, like when you're in a boardroom and everything goes so much better, I bet you they had a good hair day, good skin day, clothes,
Ooh.
like it's 1,000,000%. I know that we're behind a lot of confidence and hoorah
Mhm.
because, and I hate to bring it to men in tech, cough, 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 but when I was behind the chair, I had a lot of them that would pay a lot for a haircut, and I was the one that was finding the perfect product and make their hair all, and then they would go work for NASA. So I do know that power that I would bring to a lot of those men in DC. And it's kind of funny because in the tech world, maybe they don't care as much, but they just haven't felt that I guess experience or, what this industry is. And we're on track to be $1 trillion. So if, it's just kind of funny that uh I'll just have them wait with the tech world. So yeah. Uh, but I would say, yeah, that we are a profession that we make people.
Yeah. Yeah. I like how you said that. Absolutely. We do make people. We are the make or breakers. That's incredible. Yeah, I'm just taking that in for a minute. Okay, so walk us through how that works, right? Because this is like a lot of beauty and barber pros, they don't understand. I don't understand that kind of side of like the investor corporate kind of realm. Okay. So how did you think to go that there and how what is the steps to do something like that to get into that boardroom? Because we see it in the movies, but we're like, oh yeah, you just make a phone call. But like, what's the process with that?
So, as I stated, I had this idea for this dispute 20
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
And to be honest, a lot of my clients, our conversations, if it wasn't around hair, X, Y, and Z, it'd be about the profession.
Mm-hmm.
And I call myself an ultra learner. There's a book, please read it, but about kind of just pulling information from everyone.
Mm,
And what I found, throughout my behind the chair is I am going to have to know a lot, right?
mm,
Um, that I don't have collateral. I don't come from family money. I
mm,
don't, I'm a single mother. So they said, you are going to have to know a lot, right? So whatever it is of your tech, the financials, you have to have every answer, and you're just going to have to be very well-rounded.
mm-hmm.
And someone's going to have to like you. So you're going to have to meet someone and they're going to have to like you. So what that did though is it made me uncomfortable, I would say probably for the last 15 years of putting myself in the right rooms, the right opportunities to have someone see that sparkle in my eye and be like, you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that process is again, right rooms. You have to get out of your comfort zone, put your shoulders back. If you have to act like you're in a movie, I'll put my hand up. And my best friend is like, you always dress in theme wherever you go. It's like, well, because this is who I'm playing tonight. I need to be confident and I need to just kill it.
Yeah.
So, but whatever you need to put on to be in those rooms, and then, and this is going to be kind of, interesting. No one is going to believe in you as much as you believe in yourself. So I did for about 18 months do the right thing. Went through the investors, the pitch deck, these incubators, and I'm different. I don't want a Harvard business degree to tell me what to do because there's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of you and there's one of me. So I definitely went the more radical approach where I did do uncomfortable things and I did have to learn the tech myself. I couldn't hire someone. It took us probably about a year longer than if we would have had an investor. But I can proudly say that it's 100% my company, and I can use that as a huge asset down the road. But it was a lot of sweat and tears, we'll say. There's no blood, I promise, in the tech world, there's no blood.
There's
Um,
none.
yep.
There's
But
none.
the advice that I have is do it you, right? And I know someone recently said to me about this conversation,
Mm.
there's just a gap between you and I. Like I can't do that. And it was so heartbreaking because I was like, no, you can be in any room. I still stutter. Like, I still stutter. I stumble over my words. I get lost in a podcast like I did today. But you can do anything that anybody else can do. And that is something that I would say. If you want to have your own business, well, there's Audible, there's Khan Academy that I believe Harvard supplements. Harvard always gives free education, believe it or not.
Mm.
So
Whoa, cool.
it's honestly, welcome to the nerdy side, but there are a lot of resources that will help you. It may not be money, but what I have found is success, your knowledge, what you've learned is so much more valuable than money or an investor giving it to you.
So, okay, wait. So just for clarity, I love what you said. And I think during COVID, I actually took, I don't know if it was Harvard or if it was Yale, but it was like a free course too. So that was like super cool. And I forgot about that. So thank you very much. Um, I'm totally a nerd. I love being in class. But you mentioned something about like you're gonna have to learn it on your own. So what are so and you're this is 100% your own business. So were you able to get an investor or what like what?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it got to the point where, you know, you have to have it built, right? So they're
Right.
like, okay, we want to see it. Okay, got see it. Okay, well, more educators. Oh, okay, so we got more educators. And now we have 200 global educators with an average following of 65,000 with a reach of 13 million. So it got to the point where they kept saying, prove it, prove it, prove it, prove it. And now where, I'm like, okay, I'm good now. I don't need your help. So it's it's funny. It's a funny story, right?
Yeah.
But my partner, he's in the finance world.
Okay.
So we went that route and
Mhm.
in the beauty industry, they just don't compute. So
Mm,
and that's kind of that story. So no
got it.
investors. I was in all the right rooms. I had all the meetings. I had all the pitch decks. But being a woman founder, I don't want to bring that into
I
it.
know. I hate that part, but it's true.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of true.
It's yeah, yeah. And to be honest, the lack of professionalism that I saw in some of these meetings, I would never partner with anyone like that.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
that's like a, you know,
Side note,
side.
but wow, that's mind blowing.
Yes. It's going to be funny. I already have like my Forbes covered, like all like mapped out, with everyone that just compared us to less than or certain things or oh, this is just going to be like. And no one had that higher, that like I kept saying like we don't have a master's degree. This is that masteries and they couldn't see anything like that. So,
But now you're doing it and let the results speak for themselves and they are, which is so exciting,
yes.
you
Yeah.
know? Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Okay. What is okay. If this is too personal, please let me know. But I'm just trying to like dive into it, right? Keeping it real, keeping it raw. So you created this company. How can educators and hairstylists get involved? But also, like, how are you making your money with this?
So, how they can get involved is either you can DM us, email us, or we have different sign up forms if
Hmm.
you are educator, events, etc.
Hmm.
We're all very open of any forms of communication. And then the second part of your question
Yeah.
was,
How is it that you're making money with this? Because you guys like hunted me down on Instagram, and I'm always so eternally grateful, right? Because there's a lot of spam out there, and I'm like, who is that? What is happening? And then I went and I taught with you guys, which I'm so happy that I did. But it was a free moment. right? It was a free class. And I know you guys have quite a few of that. So how are you making money with that?
Yes, so this is always the fun question.
Okay.
The big thing going into dispute is I wasn't in it for money. I've already made money. I can do that.
Mhm.
That's great. But I was looking to build something again to make that flip.
Yeah.
What I have noticed is, well, the industry is very tapped out of subscriptions. There's some that are 1,000, there are some that are $10, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are some classes that are now 3,000 for a 2-day color class,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which is extremely expensive. So even on the educator side, if you want to have your picture, if you want any support, if you want anything,
Mm-hmm.
and that model is not working like at all. I knew I would have to take a bended knee, right? And really make some sacrifices in my personal life to make something different. So, yeah, host your profile, it's free. If you want to have a class, free. You want to have your education on our streaming, free. We do take 15% of your streaming if it is monetized. If you have a virtual class, virtual tickets, we take 15%.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still leaving that 85% for you to have that revenue.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking to create a system or a new revenue stream where you can do a model today. You can have it for $5, $10, whatever it be,
Mm-hmm.
and it can work for you for 5 to 10 years globally.
Wow.
So I'm looking at the long game,
Yeah.
and I know that the views are happening on Instagram. And if we could translate those views into dispute,
Mm.
and for that fringe video, maybe I put it for $2. It's a 5-minute video, it's $2.
Right.
Looking to help them $2 times 10,000 because
Right.
those people are viewing. So I'm trying to switch the mindset of let's stop giving away so much free content,
Right,
right?
right, right. Mm-hmm.
Put a little dollar, $5, whatever it be.
Yeah.
But then hopefully we can make our in-person less expensive. So,
Yes. Okay.
so by adding more revenue streams to the educators, right, I feel like it makes it more affordable for the learner. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of that conduit. Is that the right word to use?
That sounds right. And
Yes, it,
and I like how it sounds. So we're gonna go with it.
thank you. But to help, the educators monetize
Yeah.
and have 401(k)s and have retirement and that you can teach today and then have it work for you for the next 5 years. So and again, we're never going to replace in person by having
Hmm.
that streaming aspect. I It's a better marketing for you. It's a better billboard. So long game, but we make our money off the
Sure.
15%, and we have ways we partner with brands. So
That is so cool because you're not just thinking about the here and now. You're thinking about 5, 10 years into the future, not only for yourself, but for that educator, even if it's $1 per view for 5, 10 years every day multiplied by however many people are like that. Girl, girl, that's great, Dana.
thank you. Thank you. And
Welcome.
when I meet with these, like, you talk about the tech and investors, I'm like, ha, ha, ha. I'm going to go this way, because
Yeah.
and now if you think about it, when people ask about marketing, how is my things going to get seen? Well, we all work together. We have 200 global educators with that activated following of 65,000. So they see a haircut, then they see your video. They come for your video, then they see a haircut. And that's how we all make money. And that's how we
Mhm.
all succeed is by not having our own islands all separate.
I love it. We are not islands.
No.
We are not like we need each other. Like you would know. You're from North Dakota. Like, hello.
Well, and it's funny, like how many people, like, I have met with some of those people that I've been following and fangirling, and when you meet them, they're like, it's just me. Like, please,
Yeah.
like, if you can help. And a lot of times, we're these educators, just tech back end. We come and record classes. So it's always interesting to, I don't know, see how many people really need that support and that help.
I love that you said that because I have experienced what you just said. And I remember feeling that way and I was like, whoa, that was so inspiring to me because there's such a big name in the industry and they're doing the same thing that I'm doing just on their level, right? And I'm like, wow. All right, well, we got to keep going. We got to keep trekking. Like, that's
And
so good.
there's no gap. And that's the thing. When it comes to someone you idolize or someone you want to be or that dream, there's only the experience that they have done, right? Obviously.
Hmm.
But we're all the same,
Yeah.
regardless of how many followers.
Yeah. All right. So time is ticking. So, what is one question that you wish I would have asked you that I did not? And how would you have answered?
Ooh. That's a good one. You have good questions. Um,
Thanks.
well, it's funny because I always go in like open-minded. I try to like visualize, everything. Um, you know, I'm gonna say my favorite thing about the industry because I feel like isn't that a lovely thing to share, right?
Yes.
So my favorite thing about the beauty industry and what I miss so dearly is watching people do hair and how different they are when they do foil placements and how they do color. And a lot of dispute too is being an educator in salons, watching a consultation and being like, can we record that? Like
Yeah.
you pivoted, how you handled that. Like, girl, it's frizzle fried here, and you made it just sound eloquent that you didn't shame her or whatever it was.
Mm.
So, my favorite thing about the industry is how unique and watching us work. And I can watch the same foil placement be done 7 different ways, but get similar results, but different.
Hmm.
And how powerful we are. We're very intelligent. We're very smart. We're very connected to, the human, we'll say.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I just love all of us. So yeah, that would be the
I I love it. Dana, thank you so much for coming on the Beauty Pro podcast. We're going to have the links and everything in the show notes for everybody to get a hold of. If you guys have not checked out Disbeaute, you must. Not just because I'm on there, but because there's a lot of cool education on there that I kind of like, I get lost. And I was like, oh my gosh, wait, how long have I been on here? Like, I have to, it happened to me. So.
that is the best thing to hear, and thank you for that. It's we want your niche, and if you are an educator too, like we want your niche, we want your brain, we want your expertise. And even if there's somebody that's already on there that does the same thing, you're different. That's another thing is again, that same haircut is done 87 different ways, and we want to make sure that learner feels connected, not that that's the only way.
Right. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. And until next time, everybody.